Hi, group number twos. Welcome to this week's reading. I am really sorry. The video for your guys' reading ended up messing up, and I wasn't able to use the video, but I saved the audio. So I'm just going to film like the cards for you so that you can listen to the audio and look at the cards that I'm speaking about in the audio. So I'm gonna let past me take it away. Bye, guys.
Hi, group number twos. Welcome to this week's reading. This week we are talking all about boundaries. I've already pulled your cards and all that stuff. I haven't looked at them yet. But we are talking about the 7 kinds of boundaries. And they are physical, sexual, emotional and mental, spiritual, financial, time boundaries, and deal breakers. We will talk about all of those in each of their sections. And we basically just asked your guides or your guardian angels or whoever you work most closely with. We basically asked them for either advice in these areas of personal boundaries or an example of a boundary that needs to be set or um, or something they want to bring to your attention about that particular kind of boundary. So, this is the card that brought you in today. It is the Star from my deck of many things. It's super cute. I like this card. Um, in the deck of many things, the Star let's see, what does it let you do? Oh, the Star gives you like superpowers, basically. Um, the Star lets you increase your ability scores, like all of them, which is huge in the game because your ability scores just determine everything. So, what I'm seeing with this is you're somebody who's ready to level up. You're ready to start really going up the ladder of enlightenment, or really starting to do work on ourselves and our relationships and our relationship with spirit and all the things. You are somebody who is working on being a bright shining light. You are ready for the next step. So this might be the next step to start setting some boundaries. So let's get started. All right. So this first little pile. Oh, the cards I'm using are the Angel Tarot deck, and I'm also using my Rebel Oracle deck, which is a bit drill sergeant-esque in the way that it speaks. So if you don't like the word fuck, this might not be the reading for you. But it does have really good information. So I don't know, maybe try to not worry about the language and just listen to the message it's trying to tell you. Anyway, so here we go. Group number 1, this is, well, you're group number 2, but this is little piles group number 1. This is our first boundary, which is physical boundaries. This deals with like personal space and your items and like physical things around you, how you want those to be treated. So we have the Ace of Earth, the inflow of abundance, a promise, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. And then we also have don't fucking force it. Allow that shit to come to you. Ooh, I like this. Okay, so this is talking about your physical environment as far as probably your job goes, or perhaps a promotion that's supposed to be coming to you, or that kind of energy. I'm really feeling that in this area of physical boundaries, um, there is going to be like you've been doing work on yourself, so because of that, there's a there's an opportunity coming to you in the physical realm. Um, that is going to change your world a little bit. Um, when our world starts to change, Sometimes we put up real hard physical boundaries um, to prevent change because humans in general don't really like change. We like things to kind of stay the same, but these are positive changes that you're experiencing. So I think your guides are trying to be like, hey, let's lighten up on the protective atmosphere we have around ourselves. Um, we want to let down some of our protectiveness so that you can let some stuff in. People or helpers or money or whatever it is that you've been kind of wishing for. The Ace of Earth is bringing it in. Um, but it's not something that you can make happen. So, in the area of boundaries, um, if we're talking about like a person who's in disrespecting like physical boundaries, I think this is saying like change is coming, but it happens slowly. Like if if I got a roommate tomorrow, um it would take me a while to adjust to what they need in their personal space because I'm so used to at this point living on my own that I'm a bit of a messy housekeeper. I leave projects everywhere all over the house and that kind of thing. So to make space for another individual would take me a bit of uh, patience. It would take a bit of not of gentle reminding from that person that they live there now too, and that I need to adjust my living habits to suit another person. Um, so I think this is a reminder that people are people, and the physical boundaries you have set up for some people um, are being worked on. They're just not gonna happen tomorrow. Like this person, it might have some issues that they're dealing with that stop them from being able to meet your boundary all of the time. So I think there needs to be some love and acceptance and patience here. This for the energy I'm getting off this is that it's gonna happen. You just gotta be a little patient for the habit to kick in. Um, I hope that all made sense. That was kind of a rambling bunch of nonsense. But I felt very connected to it. So I hope it resonates with you. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So, moving on from that physical boundary, I think it's a physical boundary of patience. There needs to be some patience given to somebody, whether that's yourself or somebody else. Doesn't matter. Um, Patience is helpful. Okay, moving on. We are going to sexual boundaries. Now, these boundaries, they work on protecting your right to consent. These are the kind of boundaries we set up with partners or just people we have intimate connections with that help us define what our preferences are or define what constitutes a sexual touch and what doesn't. It also helps us set up rules for how we would like our sexual experience to look like, or where we would like to explore, or where we definitely don't want to explore. So, um, if you're if you've ever been a part of the kink community, you will see these kinds of boundaries all over the place. They're very good at setting them. Um, we also set them in D&D often. There's like safety rules and like we have hard lines that we don't cross with people and things like that. So these are like safety tools that you use to have sexual encounters with people. So the cards that you have here are the Three of Earth, which is the Three of Pentacles, The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, and being a team player. Ooh. And then we also have you need a big fucking hug. Squeeze. Aw, that's so sweet. Aw, that's so sweet. So I think your guardians, your angels are being like, hey, good job in this area. First off. Second of all, it's okay to have a lot of needs. Um, you strike me as somebody who is a team player. Like you meet a lot of other people's needs first, before your own. And I think this is a boundary that we need to start addressing, an area that you need to start addressing. Like your physical sexual needs might be different from your partner or from the norm, and that's okay. And like you shouldn't be ashamed of any of that. You are such a good team player. Like, you take care of everybody else's needs. So, it is time for you to be brave and express your own needs, even if that's just a big fucking hug.
Okay, so for example, a partner of mine expressed a need to feel a little bit more, for them to feel secure in our relationship. They just requested that whenever we see each other, the first thing we do is get a hug and a kiss with each other, so that they know that that we are on good terms, even if we haven't seen each other in a very long time. So that's just an expression of a physical need to feel loved and accepted, even when people don't see each other all of the time, even if it's a long distance thing. So that kind of physical, sexual need is worth expressing. And honestly, like, if the person's in an intimate relationship with you anyway, they're gonna be so happy to be able to meet those needs for you, to work on this with you, and to give you what you need in the relationship as well, as long as it is a loving and healthy relationship. That is the reaction you will get. So expressing your needs, this is less about making a boundary for what you don't need, and more putting a voice to what you actually need in a relationship. Yes. So that is pile 2. So the next one for you, group number 3, this is your emotional and mental boundaries. So these are the boundaries that help you stand up for yourself, that help you express yourself in the world. These are things like, I won't engage with you if you're yelling at me. I will disengage from the conversation until we have time to calm down and speak at a normal level, because the raised volume triggers me. It's that kind of a boundary. So let us see what you have here. We have the Ace of Air. Wow, you got 2 aces in your reading, guys. So the Ace of Air, brilliant new ideas and inspiration, seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. And we have get out of your fucking head. Get in your heart. It misses you. Aww. That's so sweet, you guys. Yeah, get the fuck out of your head. Your heart misses you. Aw. Yeah, so maybe you're somebody who has spent a while now kind of hiding your emotional self, kind of hiding your emotional body from those around you, because you've been hurt or because you've been in survival mode for a while. So maybe you're somebody who's just kind of starting this idea that you want or need need boundaries with people emotionally and mentally. As we said with the star, you're just kind of starting this new level up. So you might just be kind of starting this process. It's one that happens in therapy a lot. To begin kind of taking care of ourselves, we begin setting boundaries with both others and ourselves around emotional and mental blocks or issues. So I think you are really just starting, and you're going to be really researching new ways to protect yourself and new ideas of what a boundary is and what that means for you, how that looks in your own life, kind of a thing. I'm also so I'm going to share this with all of the groups. I'm going to put it down in the description, but there was a podcast that I listened to that inspired this reading that is just basic information about these 7 kinds of boundaries and how to set them and what they look like. Don't be afraid by the label of the podcast. It says advice for people in our 20s or something like that. This is just really good information for any of us to have. And if you're just starting your therapy journey or you're just starting your healing journey with yourself, this is really basic, good information that will super help you on this path. And it does not matter your age. Information is good information no matter what age group it was meant for. Okay? I just learned, I just heard this really cute song about boundaries that's a kid's song that I was I love this. Inspiration can come from anywhere. So don't be afraid of information from different sources. Anyway, what I'm saying, don't be afraid of different information from different sources. If you're starting to really delve into a kind of therapy or you're delving into a kind of enlightenment or something, don't be afraid. Get out of your head, trust your heart, trust your intuition. Your body and your spiritual body know where to go instinctually. Your heart misses you. And look, setting boundaries for mental and emotional health does not, as opposed to what some people might think, it does not cut you off from the world. It instead enables you to interact with the world without feeling put upon, without the fear of being triggered. It allows you to bring out your heart without fear of it being stepped on, because the people around you have agreed to treat you in the way that you have asked them to. So, this is a cool new journey. You can do it. I'm very proud of you. Good job. Starting something is hard, and you are starting it. So that is, yay, good job. Okay, so this next pile, this is spiritual boundaries. And we have for you, these protect your right to believe or practice your beliefs. So we have for you here the 8 of water, which is the 8 of cups, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. Ooh, I love that. And you have, they broke your heart. Fuck them. I love it. So, yeah. Awesome. So you guys, again, in this whole leveling up process that the star card talks about, you're trying to level up in all areas of your life. So this new spiritual journey that you are embarking on, it is a desire to move away from things that have not worked out for you. Things that you were taught were like really true, but then as you grew up, you saw that they were not true and felt really betrayed and felt like you were fed lies, which you might have been. But you were fed information that was not helpful to you and didn't resonate with you. But you were like force fed it. Like, this is what's true and you better do it, kind of a thing, or you're going to hell. That is what I'm driving at here. So there's a need to mourn the loss. Like, maybe whatever spiritual thing you did believe in, maybe it did bring some positive things to your life, and you are mourning. You should mourn the loss of that. That sucks. But also, it brought all of these other negative things into your life, like maybe people who looked down on you, people who didn't give you the freedom to be who you were, or I don't know, there's lots of examples. But so there is the need to move on, to walk away, to find something more meaningful. This doesn't mean you have to, like, abandon every good principle. Like, there's always a silver lining to stuff. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Finding a new spiritual path is a bit scary, a bit daunting, since there's so many spiritual paths out there. But again, your intuition is going to guide you. Your guardian angels, your spirit guides, your deities, whoever you work with, they will guide you to the right thing. You just have to, like, really invest in it. You have to spend some time looking. If you don't look for it, it won't appear. Like, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But you have to be looking. You have to be wanting. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So this boundary, this spiritual boundary, is really one of releasing an old boundary. One that told you this is right and this is wrong and there's no shades of gray. It's time to release that boundary, let it go because it no longer resonates with you, and begin exploring the areas of gray that you may feel more connected to. Okay, moving on. We're going to 5. This little pile talks about financial boundaries. Now, this is how you'd like to use or protect your resources. This is things like, you don't want people using your car without asking, or you don't want to pay for dinner every time you go out on a date with someone, or whatever, that kind of thing. So dealing with financial boundaries. So here we go. The card that you guys have in this section is the Wheel, Archangel Michael. Time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. Ooh. And we have step away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit. Chocolate, bacon, beer. Get some. I like it. Oh, that's great. All right, so the Wheel of Fortune really talks about how things are always in shift, things are always in change, things are always moving. So if you're somebody who has had a lot of financial difficulties recently, I have a feeling that things are going to start turning in a different direction for you. I think this card is really talking about how you've been really careful and you've been working really hard on being careful with your finances, and soon there's going to be a chance for you to be a little less careful, be a little more free-flowing with your finances, have a little bit more fun, go out to dinner a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying spend money you don't have. If you're not in that place yet, keep with your boundaries, keep with your saving, keep with your I only eat out once every 2 weeks. Whatever it is you're doing to like protect yourself and save yourself money and boundaries in that area, like continue to do that if you are not yet in a place that the wheel has turned for you. You have to protect yourself before going out and partying, if that makes sense. But I am seeing that once this positive change comes in, your guides want to remind you that it is okay to change boundaries. Boundaries can change and should change as the situation changes. Like for instance, like you might have a really hard boundary with like your dog not peeing in the house. But like if your dog gets really old and has a bladder condition, he can't really help peeing in the house sometimes. So like that boundary needs to change as the situation changes. That was a really gross example, but that's what came to my head. So we're going with it. So yeah, I think your guides are just being like, hey, if money comes up, pay your bills, pay your debts, but then don't forget to also enjoy life. Like we're trying to get extra stuff moving for you here so that you can do more. So don't forget that part of it. Don't forget boundaries can change as the situation changes. Okay, and next we have, this is time boundaries. This deals with how you want to use or protect your energy and your time, obviously. Because if you're a 9-to-5 person, sometimes it's really hard to find time. So you have to really protect your time and give it to only the things you really want to. So we have the Queen of Water, tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Aw, let's not focus here. Focus on it. There you go. It also says relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. Aw, and then we have love. Get some, give some. It will cheer your ass up. Aw, that's so sweet. Wow. Yeah, so this is a card to really remind you to spend time with those you love. Really invest, make time for the ones you love, because they are the ones that are going to help you level up. They're the ones that are going to see you be that better person that you want to be. They are going to invest in your boundaries, making sure that you do feel comfortable to express your needs and all those things. So really investing our time in the people and things we love. Now, you can't always invest all your time in those things because we live in a capitalist society that requires us to work. Don't just like blow off work all the time to go hang out with the person you're in love with. But these cards seem to really be like, hey, level up this relationship too. Really invest in this person. And that doesn't just mean sitting and watching TV together. That means, hey, I found this quiz of like the 20 questions you should ask to become closer to somebody, and like spend the evening doing that. Like, yes, TV can be a super bonding experience, but not all the time. Like, find various things to get yourself closer with the people you love. Use your time with each other to grow in the relationship as opposed to just chilling. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing there. So, pretty clear message. The last one we have here, these are the deal breakers, or the other kinds of boundaries that don't fit into one particular category. Instead, they kind of like range around into multiple categories. Like, let's say for instance, you want to set a boundary that, let's use this for an example. Let's say you want to set a boundary that you spend a certain amount of time with a person every week. Well, that includes a mental boundary of like, I need to remind myself that this time is for this person and not take any other work. It also requires some emotional boundaries of like, I'm going to open up my heart to this person during this time. It also involves some financial boundaries possibly, because maybe you're giving up the extra hour of work so that you can spend the time with this person. Or it could involve physical boundaries. I'm going to let them into my house for this long, and that might be difficult for you, whatever it is. But these are like deal breakers. These are like, they encompass a lot of different boundaries to make one boundary. So anyway, that's enough explaining. Let's see what your guides want to bring to your attention in this area. We have the Seven of Earth. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. And we also have laugh. Where the fuck is your sense of humor? Love it. Yeah, I think this is a cute boundary. I think what your guides are saying is that in this leveling up process, there's a need for jovial play and laughter. There's a need for you to set a boundary with your own mental state, that you don't take it too seriously. Like, leveling up is serious, but also, like, you can't level up if you take it so seriously that you can't see the beauty in life in the process, if you can't laugh at yourself for making mistakes, if you can't have compassion with yourself for being not there yet. So your seeds are well planted. You have started this journey. Don't forget to have fun along the way. That's really important for this whole leveling up process, is to have fun along the way. Yeah. And give yourself breaks. Like, man, I really worked on myself really hard yesterday. Today, I'm gonna watch TV. Like, make sure there's a balance in your life, because going hard at change all at once can cause us to never want to level up ever again. So there needs to be a balance to enable you to grow. The plants don't need watering every single day. In fact, if you do water them every single day, they will die. So you gotta be wise and pay attention to when they need water and when they don't. So that's all I'm seeing here. The last thing I'm gonna do for you guys is I have my Kali Ma deck, and I'm just gonna get one last piece of advice from her about this whole discussion of boundaries, because she is really the queen of boundaries if you think about it. She really builds people up and breaks them down, and is the mother of change. So we are going to ask her advice in this whole boundary seeking process. All right, Kali, could you give us one message for my group number 2s about their boundary seeking process, this leveling up that they're going through, these huge changes that they're going through? Is it this? Nope, that's too many. Okay. Just one message, please. All right, we're gonna split today. We're gonna take this one. All right. So the card that you guys got is one I've actually never pulled before. This is card 41. This is Krishnu. Focus on the card, please. 41 Krishnu. Awesome. So we are going to read this. There. We're gonna read this card to you out of the book. This is close to one of the last cards in the deck. Here we go. Card 41, Krishnu. There is spiritual intelligence within your soul. It is the genius of becoming, of ripening, of potential into glorious manifestation. Intimate communion with your own heart will reveal what it is you truly yearn for and set the process in motion for that yearning to be satisfied. The holy fire is Kali, and she is within your soul. Follow the yearning, seek the light, let yourself burn bright for what inspires you, and you shall see the path to fruition clearly before you. Believe in what is meant to be. And I'm going to read this little section. The divine doesn't need to be cajoled into loving or wanting to help us. It is the human that needs help dragging the mind away from a fixation on what is wrong into the openness and the presence that allows for the divine grace to flow and for us to receive it. While the offering appears to be about what we are giving, it is enabling the capacity to receive. It may seem like offerings are tokenistic, but a true offering is hard to give. It is hard because it requires that we shift our presence, our state of mind and being. The more we do this, the greater the offering. It matters less what the form of our offering is, but more how it affects us internally. The Oracle of Krishna brings the message that whatever you need and desire, you can have. However, you must be prepared to enter into the sacred fire to make an appropriate offering. When we choose to make the supreme offering of ourselves to Kali, we are fully received, and thus activate the flow of grace in our lives for the spiritual benefit of all. This oracle asks you to shift from focusing on what isn't working to immersion into the Divine Mother's heart. All can be then resolved and shall manifest according to her loving grace. Oh, that's nice. Okay. That's all I'm seeing for you guys, group number 2s. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to this reading. I will see you all next reading. I don't know what we're doing yet, but it should be fun. And please like, comment, and subscribe. The link to the podcast that inspired this video is down in the description. I hope you guys have a blessed everything. I am so excited to see you next time. This was Pan. Bye, you guys.